Hey now, and welcome to a schmuck named Matt. This is our first episode. And of course, why not do our first episode right in the middle of a pandemic and everybody being locked up in their house because you got nothing else to watch but YouTube. And what else is there better to watch? Netflix. And what does Netflix have right now? Tiger King. That is why I am dressed like this, in honor of the great Joe Exotic. And if you don't know who Joe Exotic is, well, he's a guy that walks around kind of dressed like this, a little classier. I actually own this stuff, so I already got my Halloween costume done. He goes around with a little tiger. I've got a little bear that I go around with all the time. So this guy apparently has had the most crazy life. So I'm going to do a quick summary of it in case you haven't seen it. This guy is a little nuts, a little flamboyant. Comes out as gay early in his life, kicked out of the house. Ends up working with exotic animals, opens up his own park, has a torment from a lady in Florida called Carol Baskin. She starts going after him. Carol Baskin comes after him for breeding these animals. I'm just going to wear the glasses. I can't do that. I'm going to be sweaty and shiny, so just go with it. It's Florida. It's swampy. So she goes after him for a lot of stuff, for breeding these things, for putting them out there in the world and selling them off and everything. And then he has some financial issues. He tries to run for president. Before that, he marries two dudes. One of them dies. The other one takes off with a woman, has a funny tattoo. So, there's a lot of things going on here with this guy. So life kind of goes in a spiral here and there. It starts to go up, then it goes down. Then it goes up, then it goes down. Well, then this guy, Jeff, shows up to kind of help him out because he gets into a lawsuit with Carol Baskin for posting videos online of him trying to blow her head off. And he comes in and puts money into a park. Well, he ends up taking over the park, kind of kicking Joe out. Joe takes off. There's a murder plot against Carol. She ends up going to, the cops. They know about it. Other people are involved. Next thing you know, he's arrested in Florida in 2018 and then gets convicted in 2019. And now this documentary is out in 2020 on Netflix. There's the summary. That's all you need to know. Go watch the darn thing. Okay, so here is my take on it. I think Joe got handed a lot of bad stuff in his life. He tried to do the best at the beginning. He got caught up in the limelight, caught up in all the craziness of what was going on in his life. People were looking at him as a celebrity, and
he was like a mythical character living out in the middle of bumfuck Oklahoma.
So I think that got him. I think that caught up with him. I think the fast lifestyle, the money that was coming in at the time, and then he had to start making up with that by selling off all these cubs, all these tiger cubs. And then he got in some drug issues, and then his husband killed himself, and then all this other stuff started happening. He keeps going after Carol. He dug himself a hole with the stuff he did with Carol. I think he had bad people behind him giving him bad advice. The guy running his TV network, the Joe Exotic TV network, this guy, Rick Kirkman, kind of pushed him along, urged it because he was trying to make his own TV show, which I think was a little selfish, but that's me. But I think that, the guy that came along, Eric Good and Rebecca Chalkin, who actually directed this entire thing, I think they did a great job trying to show all sides of it. My takeaway from the whole thing is I don't think there's a good person of the main characters involved in this entire thing. Between Joe, Carol, Jeff, and then this other guy, Tim Stark, who came in at the end to kind of help Jeff take over the park and rebuild it. And then they all turn around and are going at Jeff. And I think Jeff's going to be a lot more trouble. Once you watch that documentary, don't tell me that guy didn't do some other shady stuff that they're not talking about. I think the end of it was a little rushed because he was convicted in 2019 near the end of the year. And then this thing just came out about a month ago, a couple weeks ago here in 2020. So I think that it was a little rushed at the ending just so they could get it out. Maybe Netflix kind of pushed it because they knew people are going to be sitting around doing nothing for a while, so we might as well get this thing out. So I think that was my problem with it. So I would like to see a continuation of this. I'd like to hear more of his story if he ever gets out. I know they're appealing it. He got convicted and sent to jail for 22 years. They put a bunch of animal charges against him amongst a plot to kill Carol. So I think that, of course, it ended up back in Florida, which it always does, look where I am. So I think that's going to be a better story to it. I'd like the truth out of this. Carol's got a whole backstory to her. I don't want to get into that. She's got ties to people I know and everything, so I don't want to get into that. I just know that she's not. It's not what she appears. Just put it that way. I wouldn't take her to Winn-Dixie near the meat section. I'll just say that. So I would like to see where this goes. Let's see what happens. It's an exciting documentary. I binged the whole thing in a day because I had nothing else to do, literally. So it's that drawing in. I mean, I know everybody's talking about it. I mean, I'm not seeing one genre that's not talking about it, of race, creed, ages. Everybody is talking about it. So I hope you check it out. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the description below what you think. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to try to do one of these a day or every other day of different topics. It's not going to all be movies. It's not going to all be Netflix. It's going to be shoes, theme parks, food, random ass stuff. So it's going to be a lot of craziness. So definitely check it out, and I hope you like it. Let me know what you think.
'Cause I saw Tiger, now I understand. I saw Tiger, Tiger saw